Hey y'all, good Saturday to you. Standing by a little work Jordan and I put in this afternoon. Kind of reminds me about this time last year, right after we first moved in. A few days in, it's about the same view. Big brush piles, and you couldn't see the chicken house at all. But now you can. Once you move behind that brush pile. No, it's been raining the last few days, and we'll take it. Rain gauge says about 1.5 inches, I believe, out there. It's a bit of a bog in the garden, so we're going to let that lay for another day or so, let the soil dry out before we get out there and pull a few weeds and do a little maintenance work on it. So we kind of stuck to house duties and things of that nature. But the sun came out this afternoon, and we're beating back this brush on this old place a bit at the time. Yes, that's overgrown, but that's a bunch of dewberries in there, so we'll need to harvest those here in the next week or so before we chop it down for a good summer haircut. It didn't take long for that nicely mowed front to go back up either, but we'll get to working on that. But we came out here to the old barn. It's never been a closed-in barn, more of a shed. Just kind of, let's see, we've had folks assemble them big old chicken silo feeders out here. Probably one was assembled here that they found out in the pasture after the disaster with the space shuttle. The old boy from Houston must not have been from the country much. He thought it was the nose cone, but got corrected pretty quickly by another colleague that was from East Texas, knew exactly what it was. But they used to pull him up. Of course, takes a lot of rivets. My cousins did some side work, and there was this old pasture was littered with galvanized parts, and old pulley still in there where they'd come out here and put all the screws in those things. I forget who that was for. But anyway, we grew up playing out here. So you can see I've cleared, well, Jordan and I have cleared the underbrush under this old sweet gum tree. And man, it's been humid today. I had to take a few breaks on hauling these limbs out. Still got that thicket to handle, but we exposed something I knew that was there, but really hadn't thought about it or looked at it since it was buried in that brush. And those of a certain age, I guess we'll date ourselves, can remember what this was used for. This is part of it. I guarantee you it's been there a long time. I was thinking as that sun's setting and the day's pretty, Jordan went and collected the eggs. Looks like he's coming back with a good basket full. About this time of the day, my mom, being the youngest, it must have been a half a century ago when they were all here and going through school, she had the duties of the house, because being the youngest, the boys and the older ones were in the field and working. And back when her wit was sharp and her words were clear, she recounted to Kimberly, remembering her dad, my pawpaw, coming in the back porch there. And the mom was always a clean freak. I mean, I can remember times when she'd come visit when I was married. I don't care how clean the house was, she was gonna sweep it, and she left a little pile right there by the back porch to let us know that we wasn't as clean as we thought we were. Had to talk to Dad about that. That didn't go real well. I'd give anything for her to do it again. But with her being so clean, she'd keep that house that we're living in now swept to a shine. And her dad would come in from the field, and he always wore khakis. And you know, they had the cuffs on the bottom. And this old sandy soil that they'd worked, his cuffs would be full of sand. And she told my sister that he'd walk in after a hard day's work, and she could track him with the sand dripping out of the cuffs of those pants. She didn't say a word, because she knew how hard he worked, and just quietly swept it up and carried on with their business. But I guarantee you, if they did it on a Saturday, and something tells me they probably did, laundry day, they'd come out here about this time of the day to pick it up, because I'm sure they'd put it up around noon. A clothesline. Who remembers a clothesline? She had one even at our house in suburban Huntsville when I was in my teenage years. Some of y'all remember the more modernized clotheslines that you could get. It was a square. Remember the squares, and you put it on a pole in the middle and it would spin? We had one of those, and I sure loved it when she didn't, put the towels on that line. Because I'll tell you one thing, those of you that have pulled a few clothespins in your life know that hardly any starch is needed on them old fresh dried clothes in the wind. They will stand up in the corner for sure. I get tickled as I read these fabric softener boxes, and I use them along, and I'm even known to extend the dryer cycle just to avoid folding them for another few minutes. Tell one on myself. But the pretty graphics on the front that says Country Breeze, and it's got a sheet in the wind, you know, on the clothesline. It don't smell like that, and it sure ain't soft as it is when it comes out of them fabric softeners. But they, I don't think you can beat, for me, one of my simple joys is fresh, clean sheets and clean socks. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know, it's been a long time since I've laid my head down on a air-dried sheet out in the pasture with all that outdoor smell. It's not a bad smell, and it's definitely not anything that can be replicated in a synthetic perfume of any kind. It's just clean, and it's hard to beat it. I think we may have to resurrect that old clothesline and save a little money on, well, I'm not going to do towels. I ain't going to do it. I'm hesitant to do jeans because they're pretty stiff at that point. We might do some sheets and blankets and things of that nature. I'm trying to remember where it ran. My cousins, if they're on here, I know Donna probably remembers. I believe there was a pole out here in the middle that the thing ran. Of course, 6 kids, they had to have a long one. But man, this thing has been here a minute. Look at that old tree, y'all. Isn't that something? Jordan shimmied up it like I figured he would. And we got an old, there's a muscadine vine over there. Now this really ain't a swinging vine. This is that is a big one. Y'all know that Virginia creeper that so many people take for poison ivy? Virginia creeper's got 5. Oh, here's some of it over here. It looks like what people think are poison oak or whatever you want to call it. This is, it can be an irritant, but it's not quite as poisonous. This is a Virginia creeper, and that's what that is. And he cut a vine off of that old tree that was twice as big as this one. Ain't that something? So it's been there. Shoot, it was probably starting up when Mom was hanging clothes out on that line. But they'll break real easy, so they're not a good swinging vine. But this one's pretty entrenched, so we've been cautiously swinging a little bit on it. And it ain't gonna come down, but we'll swing on it till it falls, I guess. But this old muscadine vine, now they'll kill a tree, but this one's not that big. And I sure hated to cut it because I know what kind of berries it'll bring here late summer. So anyway, that was kind of cool to uncover that this afternoon. I'm anxious to ease into that thicket. It's just old privet hedge is all it is. Won't take long. I just didn't tackle it today. It'd be nice to be able to see all the way through there. Ain't much to look at, but we can look just the same, can't we? But memories of old clotheslines tonight in simpler times. Been a long time since I seen some old sheets hanging in the wind. I guess that's where that old saying came from, 3 sheets in the wind. I don't know how that all worked out. Have to look that up. Guess that means you're drunk. Pastor refers to somebody being a little bit out of sorts sometimes. I never heard this one until he said it, and it cracks me up every time I hear it. He was, how does he say it? He was drunk as a boiled owl. That's pretty drunk. I don't think I've ever seen a boiled owl, but I guess that's what it looks like. I don't know. Plenty of rain on the place. That corn got one more row. I had to put it off, and rain got me again, but got one more row to stand up. About half of it's leaning over. It'll be all right. I can't walk in it because I'll sink up to my neck. I ain't saying much, but it's still sinking. It's relative to me. How about that? Chicken watch. Well, we're on day 23. I'm not really alarmed because calendars are static. But check the eggs this morning. I'm going to check them again here in a little bit. There's 7 in there. No more snakes yet. But they'll have to come pretty quick in between our 4-hour visits. And I don't think they'll be able to get in and get out before we see one of them. But she's still setting. And we got 7 eggs still underneath her. I'm confident in about 4 of them. The other 3 are on the fence, so I'm gonna let it run its course. Still seeing movement, good movement in 4 of them. So we'll see. It's nature. It'll come when it's time. So if it don't, it's nature. It is what it is. Them old chickens from this morning. I don't know if y'all, I guess y'all saw the video. It's supposed to be International Respect for Chickens. I don't know about going to the, I guess I'll appreciate it. I don't know about respecting. That's a heavy word. I don't know if you can apply that to a chicken. I'll respect it tomorrow afternoon when I get a piece of fried thigh maybe. But I mean, I appreciate them, but let's not get carried away with it here, right? Anyway, whatever. It's International Respect, something for chickens. But them rascals have torn that pile from this morning up. I mean, they are after it. They've been in it all day. So, them are going to be some good eggs, you reckon? We feed them that. That was a pretty big load today, but they get a box or 2 a day. Good little supplement. And I just have to believe with that fresh produce and a little bit of pelletized laying pellets, I don't know if you can get more organic and healthy in an egg than that. Just my thinking. Logic. That's a weird thought, using logic these days. Maybe them few millennials ought to get them a clothesline, huh? Talk about being green. I don't think they have an idea. But they'll learn. It's all good. Well, that's it for this evening. Let me do a quick roll call. Get away from this road. It's just too loud. Can't even hear myself thinking that thing. I need to build me a, kind of regret cutting some of that brush down on the front now. Get a little barrier. Go over here and have go up here by my rain thing, get still for a second. But y'all have a good day. Hope so. Y'all sound off where you're at, and we'll do a little holler out and call it an evening. Day ended up pretty, didn't it? Not a cloud in the sky out here in East Texas. But chickens are still fussy. Go eat your food, Goofy. Let's see here who we got on this evening. Oh goodness, I got a lot of them to read off here. Well, turn that thing off there. There we go. Guess they're shooting over there. I don't know what they are. I hope they ain't after that deer. They sighting in the gun. That's just how it is out here. Hey Linda, how are you? Let's see. Joanne says dance at Edom City Limits tonight. The band sounds great. Question mark. I think that was a typo. She's probably telling me the band sounds great. Anyway, good to hear that, Joanne. Y'all have a great time. Margaret is checking in. Beautiful Saturday after last night's storms got my yard mowed. Well, that's good. I don't think you'd had to have a propeller, a blade on your boat to mow this place today, I'm afraid. That's the only one. Yeah, I thought you meant something different than that, Joanne. All right, well, we got it straight. There's Kathy. Good evening to you. And Miss Melissa had their first chick to hatch today. That is cool. How about that? So I guess we'll be hopefully seeing that soon here on the place. You'll have to share me some pictures or something, Melissa. That's pretty cool. I'm going to try to get some of it on video here. Brenda, how are you up in Arkansas? Still raining. Oh, man. Hope y'all get a little break tomorrow. Hey, Melinda from Oregon. Looks humid. Whew. I can't even describe how humid it is. Of course, when you're in this humidity in this Texas, it's hard to gauge because it's always humid. And I was thinking it had dipped a little bit because it got cool. So I checked the humidity and it was 100%. And I'm like, well, it shows what I know, right? So those chickens need high humidity to hatch. Well, they're not going to have any trouble with that around here for a while. Hey, Charlotte, how are you down in Trinity, Texas? Oh, Kathy, the sunflowers. Let me. Well, they're not made yet. You know, they're still growing as plants. It'll be another few weeks before we get flowers on them. And you can bet I'll show them off. The chickens have given them ones at the end of the chicken house a route, but the 3 of them still over there. They should be fine. They're just getting knocked over with the rain and soft dirt with them long, spindly vines that they got. But here's the. Here, let me see. There we go. So these are coming on good. You can see that soft dirt. They grow quick, don't they? I'll get out here and straighten this old boy up. I'm not gonna mess with it right now, but we'll get it stood back up. Well, it's going to be pretty against that old outhouse, isn't it? They probably put on flowers when they get about right here, when we'll see flowers on them. At least experience with them. Let's see, who else we got? Carry clothesline. That's right, buddy. I was thinking you see all those silly memes saying different things, all about doing whatever and it shows or whatever. I was thinking a lot of y'all, a lot of them youngins have never had to put on a pair of jeans off a clothesline, and it shows in the way they act. Oh man. Hey, Mike from Northern California, good to see you checking in. There's Deborah from Michigan. Hey Rhonda, how are you? There's Manuel. Yeah, that's living, brother. It is. I got my phone off. Jackie Wall this evening. Smells so good dried online. Yes, ma'am, they do. I don't think you can replicate that. It's just, it really ain't a smell. It's just it's past that, I guess. I don't know how to put it. Hey, Linda, how are you? And Donna's on. Ada hung her sheets on the line today. How about that? Hey, there's my son Lance up in Illinois. How you doing, buddy? Need to message you later and find out how track's going. I hope it's going well. There's Kathy and Barbara down in Chibolo. How are you? Patty says she loves clothes dried on the line, especially sheets and towels, make them smell like sunshine. Miss having a clothesline. You know, I read somewhere where they've outlawed clotheslines, or won't let you have them in some of the home, what do they call that? I ain't never been in one, don't want to be. Property owners' business in these subdivisions, trying to make sure everybody's uniform. And I'd read that somebody's passing a law. Of course, it's all we need is another one of those, that you can hang a clothesline wherever you want. Ain't that something? In 50 years, we got to pass a law to be able to put up a clothesline at our house. I better move on. Anyway, whatever. Thank you. Shoot that again. It's going good, Lance. Deborah's still cold in Michigan. Good Lord, 55 degrees. That ain't right. It's May. Somebody needs to tell Michigan what's going on. Hey, Lisa, thank you for checking in. Rhonda says, nothing like having the bath laying on a clean sheet and having the attic fan turned on and windows open at night. Yeah. Well, my window's been open in the evening. Here lately, it's been nice. So, hey, Gary, how are you? Thanks for checking in. There's Miss Patricia. You feel hotter than a pot of collards? I have not. Man, that's a good one. Hotter than a pot of collards. I got to remember that one. Thank you for that, Phil. Good to see you. There's Charlotte Ray and BJ Benford Pitts. Holly Springs fans are here. All right. Good to see y'all checking in. Miss Carolyn up the road there. How are you? I need to bring you some more eggs, man. You can't still be eating on that dozen from a couple of weeks ago. Drop me a line. I'll be glad to drop you some off. I'll be headed that way to church in the morning. I'll be glad to stop by and deliver those. Donna going to come visit me about harvest time. Well, bring your work boots, because that's the only thing that's going to go on in this garden right now. Come harvest time, it's going to be a lot of work. Elbows flying and bushel baskets filling. Hopefully. There's Miss Terry up in North Richland Hills. Hot. Worked all afternoon in the yard. Finally stopped raining along the flowers. Grass looked great. She's sunburned and looking for those watermelon. Well, they're coming on. Our deer came and visited us a couple of days ago, and of course the plant's too big for them to mess with, but we're going to have to get old Hudson back on watch about harvest time on that one. There's Daryl. How are you, buddy? And Charlotte Ray out in Lake Fort, Jeans and Deer Park. Daryl's in Iowa, and Lisa's saying Oak Cliff, Texas, near Dallas. Hey, Janie, up in Cincinnati. How are you? She's coming to Texas in September. Met her at my good buddy Tony Ramey, one of his concerts that he had down in the stockyards. I guess that was a year and a half ago or two. The White Elephant, I believe that's where we were at. But he's doing big things. Y'all need to check him out. Love it. He's a good man, like my brother. There's Miss Ladina up in Grand Prairie. Maxine's in Kentucky. Yeah, that farm life ain't easy, but it's sure is rewarding. You know it. It just is. There's Kathy. My Aunt Bonnie's watching. She can't hear this yet, but anybody want to say hello, Aunt Bonnie, you feel free. I'll wave to her. I think she knows what that means. Quilts that cannot really be washed as often as needed could still be aired on. That's right, Vicky. Good call out there. Roy's in Houston. Thank you, Rhonda. Homeowners Association. Shows you what kind of memory space I'm giving to that mess. But no, I guess they've got their place, but goodness. There's my sister Kim checking in. And Donna Wells. They just had a shower for Donna's going to be an old grandma. I guess I can't say much. I beat her to the punch, being a grandpa before she's grandma. But no, her son got married a while back, and they're expecting their first child. Looks a little girl going to be here around July 4th, and boy, that's aptly so. He was he's out of the service now. Won't talk a lot about what he did, but recon, we'll just put it that way. But he was one of those boys that went out and things that went bump in the night. He chased those things down and kept them from getting in our space. We'll leave it at that. But appreciate his service for sure, and Donna's looking forward to that little nugget coming, and going to spoil it for sure. Ours is coming this way in May, end of May. Jeremy and Felicia and little Isabella Rose will be here to visit for about a week, and we're looking forward to good times there. But hope all is well with all of y'all. There's Diana saying hey from Washington State. Well, I've rambled again. I'm gonna wrap it up for the evening. I need to go out here and check on Mama Hen before it gets too late, too dark. I don't know how many eggs we got, but by the look on Jordan's basket, it looked like normal, about 21 or so. But all is well at the Washboard Chronicles, y'all. We'll have good memories of simpler times and clotheslines tonight. And that's just how it is. Y'all have a good weekend. Hope you go celebrate your faith somewhere with those of like faith. And smile and make a difference for someone somewhere this week. Y'all be the light. We'll talk to you later.